Did you know that 64% of new business are started by people over the age of 40? Well, I am very excited to be joined today by Christy Owens, who's sharing her experience developing a new product called UTap2. This is a sustainable digital business card with an NFC technology that is the future of business cards. And she and I met through a program at the University of North Carolina's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, their Women in Tech program, and I've been using her card since April. She's even offering a promo code for 20% off your first order. So stay tuned to the end to grab that code and get your UTap2 card too. So welcome to This Is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm Dr. Melissa Batchelor, and I am a nurse and a nurse practitioner with over 25 years of experience caring for older adults and their families. And before we dive into today's topic, I wanted to share a few of the different ways that you can connect with me. You can go to my website, melissabphd.com, and sign up to be an HYSU Insider for free. And there you'll find all of my downloadable handouts that I've developed in one place. And if you upgrade to become an HYSU MVP member, you'll also have access to a digital hub of videos, courses, and resources that I've organized by subtopics, which makes it even easier for you to find the information that you've been looking for. I also host a monthly live Q&A for my MVP members, and you can also become a member on YouTube. And depending on your level of membership, you will get early access to all my weekly episodes. You can join me for the monthly live Q&A webinar, or you can tune in weekly for a live stream with me on Tuesdays at 5. All right, so now let's dive into innovation and entrepreneurship after 40. And today we're going to be talking about UTap2 and the future of business cards. So I'd like to welcome my guest, Christy Owens. Welcome, Christy.
Hi, thank you.
So before we get started, just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how you kind of came up with the idea for UTap2.
Sure. So I was in the printing industry, and I had one of my customers ask me if I knew anything about digital business cards, and I said no. So I researched it and did a lot of investigating on what it was, what the technology was. It's actually near field communication technology. What that technology is, it's tap technology, and everyone sees it now at restaurants and checkouts at the grocery store where you just tap your card. So I thought it was interesting, and I thought, well, I'm going to start a business. So I did a year of investigating and put a website together and had programmers program the technology and developed the cards. And that's how it came to fruition. So I started that about a year and a half ago, and it just rolled out about 2 months ago. We just launched it.
Okay. So this is actually a separate business. It's not like a product within your other business.
Correct. It's totally separate. I decided to make my own business out of what I was finding because I thought the technology was so innovative and it was useful. And when I was doing a lot of the research, I found that I would buy there was a couple businesses out there that had started businesses like this, and there was no customer service. Like once I bought their card just to find out what it was all about, there was no way anyone could help me through it. There was a lot of glitches, and I found that there was a big need out there for people, especially people our age, who the younger kids know exactly what to do with technology, and with us, it takes a little time. So I saw a need for the customer service side of it, and just being hands-on with customers and making it more personal instead of just ordering a card and sending it out and leaving it to the people who bought it to figure it out. So I kind of wanted to be more personal and take a little more control of the customers and what they're experiencing through the purchase.
Okay, so tell me how you do that. I mean, I know
so.
So I was just going to say, I see you in person, but how would you do that for someone who wasn't local?
Correct. So we have an 800 number. We have a customer service team of small amount of people right now who are going to be there to answer phones and do live chats so that somebody's always accessible, because I know the frustration level on something like this could turn somebody off really quick. And my goal is to have them use the card, use it where they're confident using it and they're not frustrated with it. And if they have any problems using it, they have somebody to call and somebody to reach out to help them get back on track.
Okay. So tell me about how you came up with the name.
Um, that's a great question. So, um, the tap technology, a lot of not just business cards, but there's a lot of tap technology out there. So I was trying to find anything just clicky that would, just be fun. So I came up with the name UTap2, and our slogan is I tap, you tap too, as a question. And everyone just asking friends and family if that was a fun name, I guess. And yeah, there's nothing sentimental about it, but it's just clicky.
Yeah, no, I like it. Because it's true. It's like, do you have a business card? Sure. I tap, do you tap too?
Yeah,
That would actually be like the conversation that you, would have. So
exactly.
that's good. Do your colors mean anything?
The colors do not mean anything. I just love the color. So that was it. I wanted to be a little flashy because the cards that were out there was nothing special about their slogan or nothing personal about it. So I just kind of, made it my own and just whatever I liked, I went with.
Yeah. Well, I like it. And you're very well on brand. Look, I even tried to match your brand a little bit today too with my teal.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about, so this was a product that you had no idea about,
Right.
but, were you, and obviously you had the mindset that you're like, oh, I can figure this out, you know?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I've had a couple internet businesses in the past, but nothing technology based. So when I was going into this, I was like, I have no background in technology at all. I've always been in sales and marketing. But when I saw the product, I'm like, I can sell this. This is fantastic, and I thought it was amazing. And that's the input I got from everyone else is the same. They get wowed whenever somebody taps their business card in somebody's phone. So it's the wow factor.
so before we kind of launch into things, why don't you explain exactly what this type of business card is, how it works, and explain some of the features that you have developed and maybe some ideas for the future.
Sure. So when I was researching on the technology and how amazing the technology is, I it created a card that had a feature that was user friendly with technology because I didn't know anything about technology. I wanted it to be completely user friendly for the purchaser and whoever's using the card. And then from there, it was just a matter of, adding on things that a regular business person would want. So just thinking, like-minded salespeople, what in a business card would I want? And what would be cool. So when I would come up with a cool idea or other people would come up with a cool idea and I would get feedback about the card, the initial card, I just put it into the programmer's minds and they would come up with an idea and then they would put it across to me. But most of the things that are on this card where you just tap and all the information goes on their screen, most of that was like um, the images and everything like that. I wanted it to be nice and look good so that there is an actual wow factor when you see it. And then and then easy to use. So it's actually I have it with me everywhere I go. I don't have to, just pass out a paper business card. I just take the actual card and just tap it on somebody's phone and they save it into their phone. And then we came up with a feature that when somebody, after they get tapped, after somebody taps their business card on their phone, there's an this exchange button where you click on that, and the person that you just tapped are able to exchange the information back to you. And then you have a UTap2 dashboard, and the dashboard tells you of all the people that you've met that day who exchanged you information back. And so it's in one file. You don't lose their contact information. You don't have paper business cards all over your desk after a conference or a trade show or anything that you go to. You just have it all on your phone. And from there, you can move that information into a CRM, into your contact information, where it's super easy to do just by your phone, and you don't have to input all the information. It's already on your phone, and you just load it into your contact information or wherever you want that contact information to go. So it's super seamless and it's easy to use. And I think that with all this past year, just testing and trialing and getting feedback, and I think we've come up with a product that is just amazing and it's easy to use and just something we're super proud of.
Yeah, and and basically it's the size of a credit card. And
Correct.
so for me, I mean, I know I've been using mine since April, and I love it because it's already in my wallet. I don't have to reorder new business cards, even though I did because I have a work business card, my day job business card, and what I have in UTap2 is more like my small business information.
Correct.
But basically you have it with you all the time, and so you're not forgetting, or you forget to replenish like your little stash of paper business cards. And then you gave me something really neat yesterday, which I have installed here on my phone. So tell us about this little, I don't know if you call it a button or what do you call this thing?
It's a tag. So the information that we'll go back to the cards, the actual images of the cards. So we have cards that are, just plain cards that say UTap2. We have cards that you can just put your photo on. We have custom cards. We have metal cards. We have wood cards. We have the only leather card.
Yeah, I was going to say leather.
Yeah, we have the only leather card that's on the market, which is cool. We just stamp a logo on there. Yeah, anyone's logo, custom made, and then it's sewed professionally by hand, in the state, like right here in Wilmington, by a guy that we hired, but he does a great job, and we're just proud of the leather card. So we have outside of the business cards, we have a tag, and it looks like a little button, and it looks just like that. So it can be affixed to anything. I have one on the back of my phone. I have one on my computer. If you don't have your business card with you, you don't really need it. But if you don't have it, you can tap somebody's phone directly on that button. It'll go directly to the business profile, just the same way as somebody would be using a tap of the business card. So it's the same exact thing, but it's kind of unique because you don't have to carry a business card anymore. And if you're running around, you don't have it, and you need to share your contact information with somebody, it's always right on the back of your phone. You can just tap somebody's phone, just the tag.
Right. And I think it's neat too, because it's super thin. Like you can even see on my phone. Apparently, my cat has already gotten his hair behind there. He wasn't even nearby when I put it on yesterday. So it's very sticky. There, but you can see, I have a little thing here on the back, but it's just, and it's the camera on the top of my phone. So super neat. And I do like the feature being able to share back. And so the share back is kind of for someone that doesn't tap. So they're like, I don't tap to. But if somebody did tap, like if say two tappers exchange, like wanted to exchange, could I tap on your phone and then would it share back my UTap profile to them, or you still have to manually enter name and phone number and email address?
So when you tap somebody's phone with your card, they don't have to have any, software. They don't have to have any app to accept the information. They just save it. And then they are offered an option on their phone to exchange information back with you. So there's 5 small questions where, we're not asking them to just load a whole profile or anything. They just give name, address, phone number, and email. It gets sent back to you. That goes into the dashboard so that you have that information from that contact. And then you could just put notes on those contacts and set appointments right through that.
Okay. But what I'm asking is like, say I meet you and you have a UTap card and I have one too, and we're
Correct.
going to exchange. So I tap my card. You're already like in the UTap2 system. Would it, when it shares back, does it just share your UTap stuff, or even you would have to manually enter the data fields?
So if you have somebody that's already, if you have a contact or somebody that you've tapped before or somebody, and you don't know that, you, it will ask you if you want to create a new contact or if you want to add to the existing contact. So let's just say you have a contact in there with just their name and their phone number, and you tap their card or you tap their phone, all the other information in there, like their email address, their website, any kind of social media links that they have attached to their card will directly go into your contact information. So if you want to create a new contact, you can, or if you just want to add that information to an existing contact, you can, and it will prompt you to do that once you tap somebody's phone.
Okay. But right now the feature is, even if you've never exchanged contact information, but you both have UTap cards, you would still
Correct.
probably each have to tap your card in order to get the full profile.
Correct. To get the full profile, if you have that, that's exactly what you would do. You would tap somebody's phone, they would tap your phone with the card, and then you would both create a new contact, and all the information would go in there.
Okay. Very cool. So tell us about some of the biggest lessons you've learned in kind of pivoting to product development from owning kind of a print company.
It's 100% different. The print company is just promotional items and swag and just logoing and doing that for businesses. This, on the other hand, is working with programming that I don't know anything about, and just being able to trust somebody and putting in the hands of somebody this big project, and it was a big project, to just be able to trust someone and put it in their hands, because I know nothing about it and I didn't want to know anything about it. I just said, this is what I want to do. You come up with the idea, like we come up with the ideas and you program it. But I'm not technology savvy at all. And when I started this, that was my biggest fear, that I was gonna have a problem with all that. But I think that part of it has been the biggest hurdle for me, because just not knowing what's happening. I like to be hands-on with everything, and that part was just too much. So I just had to be trusting and just let the ball roll where it went right when I told them what I wanted. So we came up with the idea and they developed it. So
Yeah.
it was just a hurdle.
Yeah. Any struggles with maybe having to switch programmers or?
Yeah. So the original programmer, it was, I researched about 4 or 5 different programmers before I started the project. And I wanted somebody that was local and wanted somebody that I could meet with in person, just so I could share my ideas and they could be hands-on. Well, in the beginning, the company that I chose was fine at that given point. There was some hiccups along the way where, projects were just taking too long and things weren't being, things that were agreed upon weren't coming to fruition for me. So finding another programmer to go into this in the phase 2, I had the first programmer do phase 1, then I became a little distraught with them. So I tried to find a different programmer. Finding a different programmer in the middle of a project was way harder than finding somebody to start it. So I learned that the hard way. So my programmers now that I have are immediately there on top of it. Not as local as I want. She is in Raleigh, So we don't get to meet one-on-one, but we do a lot of Zoom calls, and they have me so much more hands-on. And I said that I did not want to be hands-on, but now they're walking me through step by step, and it makes a huge difference. Just putting it in the hands of somebody was, that I wanted to trust that it was all getting done correctly and all the timelines were met correctly. That didn't come to fruition for me. So I had to get somebody else in there. They're really good now. So fingers crossed that this, this program works out for me.
Yeah. And I think the lesson there is just that, sometimes you start off down one path and we all have to pivot and make adjustments. And, I think the biggest key to success is just being persistent with whatever your goal is. And if it was easy, then everybody would do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the whole process, the whole project, with the first programmer, it was taking so long, and it was taking the wind out of my sails, and I was so excited and amped up about this project, and I just I can't let them take the wind out of my sails. I need to move on, and I need to find somebody else. And that was a process, but you have to do that when you're not fully, they were absolutely losing my enjoyment of this. And this was supposed to be a fun thing to do, not, terrible. And it wound up being really, really frustrating. So now it's not, everything's good. And I had to make a big change. It was either get out of this or find a programmer and keep plugging along.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're going to do great. I've loved using the card and showing it off. And now I have my little tag to show people, which is awesome when your physical card is down on the bottom of your bag somewhere. You always have your phone in your hand. So let's talk about how people can get in touch with you. Your website, it's the letter U and then tap, T-A-P, and the number .com.
Yes.
And then on your website, does that have your links to your social media?
It does. Yeah, it has all the links to Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok. So we'll be on TikTok, but we haven't started making the videos yet. As I said, this just launched 2 months ago. So all of this marketing and all that stuff is a whole different animal that we have shit to tackle. And you know the drill. It's not an easy one to figure out. Social media.
Exactly. Well, I really appreciate you being here with me today. I hope people do go to your website, UTap2.com. Check out all of the different, because just like how well branded you are, you have different cards to fit different brands. Because I'm thinking, who would want the leather card? And I'm like, I don't know, because
well, the big one is motorcycle riders.
Oh,
those have been, because we're friends with a lot of them, and they love the leather card. It's just a unique thing to have, and it fits in any. People were worried that it wasn't going to fit in the wallet, regular business card. It absolutely does. It fits right in the wallet, and it's fine. But yeah, I think it's for anyone.
Yeah,
and it's a cool gift. So if anybody for Father's Day, dads have everything, and this is just something unique that that they might not ever have bought, and they would use, and they just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a conversation piece, because I've loved running around, showing people. And you're right about the wow factor, because it really is so pretty when someone taps their card, and it pops up. I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. And I'm like, I wish that once it went into as a contact, it stayed in that format, but it converts to your regular phone contact information.
It was so funny. You sent me a video one time, because you've been so helpful through this whole process and giving me feedback and helping me get through some of the little kinks along the way. And you sent me a video one time of you actually tapping somebody's phone and the process that was going. And your friend or whoever you had, they're like, wow, look at you. And you're like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Vicariously living through your technology.
I mean, it's so fun to see people's reaction if they've never seen it. It's so fun to see their reaction. They're like, "Holy cow, that's amazing!"
Yeah. And
So,
it is,
yeah,
it's a wow factor and a cool factor. It's kind of one of those things, I've always been like an early adopter of technology, but it's fun,
yeah,
to whip something out and be like, just hold your phone still. And people are waiting to kind of see what's going to happen. And then when it all pops up and it is so pretty. So,
yeah,
part of it's brilliant, and you can make it match, it has your photo. That just looks really pretty that they're wowed about the fact that if they've never seen a digital business card, and then they're wowed by the fact that how it looks, you know, um, so all of that.
and all the additional information that's included on it. It's not just name, address, and phone number. Now it links directly to all their social media.
Yeah. So
And we're able to do that.
So do you have a couple of quick questions? Maybe, do you have any kind of future thoughts that you can share with us about like next steps? I know that because I've watched you even just since May, and it's only July or April,
Right.
and it's continued to evolve, and you've added new features. And I'm like, oh, it just keeps kind of getting better and better.
Right.
So
The
anything?
one good thing about that is once you buy a UTap2 card, every feature that is included along the way is included in your purchase. I don't make people pay extra for anything. If you buy your UTap2 card, you will get all of the features that are new and existing. We have the future project is everyone says, it's called a Google review card, and it's going to be TripAdvisor. It's going to be all kinds, like just a review card that is tappable. So if you're out at a restaurant or something and you're angry at their service, you're running to find a website to leave them a bad review or something, but nobody really runs to like the website to give them a good review. So this is just a cool idea where you just would take the business owner would take their card and they would tap the customer, and it goes directly to their Google review or TripAdvisor review, where the person that is being tapped can just put 5 stars and then just a short note, so that their reviews are going to go up. Some of them are saying over 400%. Their Google review, their positive ratings are going up 400% just by having the card next to the register and tapping the customers. It's because, like I just said, people wanting to make the bad reviews, but nobody does the good reviews.
Right. But this is also,
So we're going to do that next.
I was just going to say, it's kind of goes back to the same wow factor as having the business card. You have your server or the manager, coming by to ask how things were. And if they're like, things were great, just be like, would you be willing to leave, just press 5 stars, and you just click their phone. And then again, it's like wow factor. It's new, it's innovative. And you're right. Just to leave 5 stars, we don't even really need to leave a comment. It's like, I just
Exactly.
5 stars and press send, and people will do it because you've made it easy. But you're right. So I think that's
huge for any kind of service industry. If you have your techs going out to places and they're done with their job, like cable or heating and air, anyone who goes out in the service industry and does this work, all the technician has to do while they're right in front of the customer is just give them the review right there. 9 times out of 10, you will never get a good review from somebody, even though you did a great job. But exponentially, the reviews will go higher and higher just by doing that one last step at the end of the call.
Yeah. Well, and the other side of that is if that card with the Google review also has their social media stuff, that customer is more likely to follow you on social media, which then helps keep you top of mind next time they need your service or they're going out to eat,
right,
whatever it is. So that's super smart.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. That should be coming probably within the next month.
Okay. Well, thank you, Christy, for being with us today. And want to again remind people to go to UTap2, the letter U, TAP, the number 2.com, and check out all of her different designs. And she has a special offer today for my listeners. If you want to get 20% off your first order, just use the promo code Melissa B PhD and you'll get 20% off. So that is very exciting. And I really encourage people to get theirs because they are super fun. I looked last night and didn't see the tags for sale yet. So just continue to, if you want to get one of those, keep looking, checking the website out. Don't forget to go to my website, melissabphd.com/join and sign up to be an HYSU Insider or MVP member. You can also become a member on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you're joining me on today. If you find this information helpful, please like it, leave a 5-star rating and a comment, and please share it with someone that it would be beneficial for. And until next time, be well.